Hi everyone, Steve here in Hollywood, California, downtown Hollywood, just 2 blocks from the Chinese Theater. And back in 1966, when singer Bobby Fuller's body was discovered, right here at the corner of Franklin Avenue and Sycamore Avenue, this was a vacant lot, used as a parking lot, at least according to a couple of the TV documentaries that have been done about his life. They all make it sound as if his mom, who was living with him or staying with him at the time, he had borrowed her car. Someone called in the middle of the night. He took her car to go out and meet this person, whoever it was. And so she was keeping an eye out in the morning when he hadn't returned. She was looking for the car. And the documentaries say that she was looking out of her window, out of the apartment building, which would have been this apartment building, but this is not the correct address here. So I'm guessing that this apartment building was not here at the time. This looks much newer. He actually lived in the apartment building right next door, which definitely looks vintage 1950s, 1960s. And so if she was looking out the window, she would have been looking at the parking lot where this apartment building is right now. But either way, it was either right here in this empty lot, which is now a small city park, or next door, which was probably empty at the time and used as a parking lot, or maybe it was a parking lot. Now, you may remember that I visited Janis Joplin's room, the room where she died. I believe right there, the window, right after these 2 palm trees. So from her window, from her bed, she could have looked out onto this parking lot or this empty dirt lot or whatever this was in 1969 when she died. It was just a few years after he died in 1966, so it's kind of interesting that he died right here, and from her window where she died, she had a view of the spot where he died.
And I have to apologize because it's so cold this morning that my hands are uncontrollably shaking the camera. It's not even 7 a.m. and the sun is just starting to come up. And I think the temperature is only in the 40s, which for me is freezing. I live in the Palm Springs desert area where 90 degrees is considered pleasant. Bobby Fuller was a rock singer and guitarist from El Paso, Texas, who moved to Hollywood, California in search of fame and fortune back in the 1960s and had a huge top 10 hit single with the song I Fought the Law and the Law Won. Rolling Stone magazine has called it one of the 500 greatest rock songs of all time. Sadly, just a few short months after the song topped the music charts, Bobby's body was found in the front seat of his mother's car in the parking lot next door to his apartment here at 1776 North Sycamore Avenue. 55 years later, his very strange and shocking death is still considered to be one of Hollywood's most bizarre unsolved mysteries. He was only 23 years old on July 18, 1966, when he died here under very suspicious circumstances. According to a witness who says he was present when the police first arrived, there was a gasoline can in the front seat on the passenger side, and reportedly it was assumed by the officer who arrived on the scene that he had taken his own life, dying from gasoline asphyxiation. And one witness said that the officer inexplicably took the gasoline can and threw it into the dumpster. But everyone who knew him said he was happy, he was having the time of his life and had everything to live for, and never would have taken his own life. Before long, friends, family, and the public began to speculate that he had actually been murdered. Some speculated that Charles Manson, who had lived just a block away, was involved. Others believed that he had been dating a mobster's girlfriend and that it was a mob hit, while others believed that he was killed for the life insurance money that the music company would receive from a life insurance policy they had reportedly taken out on Fuller. Apparently, some companies protect their assets this way. The LA Medical Examiner's Office found no evidence of drugs or physical violence, and eventually his official cause of death was labeled accidental. At this point, all of these years later, it doesn't seem likely that we'll ever know what or who killed Bobby Fuller, but it is likely that the conspiracy theories surrounding this very sad and tragic unsolved mystery will never die. And I just checked a couple of online real estate websites and discovered that the apartment building next door, located at 1784 North Sycamore Avenue, was built in 1968, so his mother really could have looked out of his apartment window and seen her car in the lot next door. Bobby is buried just 4.5 miles north of here at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in the Hollywood Hills, and I'm going to head there next. His gravesite is located just inside the front gates in the Sheltering Hills section to the right.
So do you remember Bobby Fuller? Do you remember his hit song, I Fought the Law and the Law Won? It's still popular today. I mean, I still listen to it. I hear it on the radio. I listen to it on my Spotify channel. All these years later, his music is still playing and entertaining the world. So, I mean, that's something, but still very sad that he died so young and how he died.
His gravesite does have a GPS, and it is pretty easy to find and visit. Over the years, Bobby Fuller's life and death have been explored and investigated extensively in newspapers, magazines, books, movies, and documentaries, including Rock and Roll King of the South, The Bobby Fuller Story, the 20 Most Shocking Unsolved Crimes documentary, E! Channel's Mysteries and Scandals, and the Unsolved Mysteries channel hosted by Robert Stack. And his brother, Randy Fuller, who was also a member of the Bobby Fuller 4 band, co-wrote the book, I Fought the Law, The Life and Strange Death of Bobby Fuller. Whether his death was a tragic accident or foul play, it's nice to see that his memory is being kept alive. And I'll continue to pan around here so you can get a better idea of the section where he's laid to rest. From his gravesite, if you look closely, you can even see the fountain just on the other side of the front gates. This week I want to thank my newest Patreon supporter, Jeffrey Mercher, and my newest PayPal supporter, Brian Constantino. Thanks so much, Jeffrey and Brian, for your extra generous donations to my channel. They really do help make trips like this possible.
If you enjoyed today's trip down memory lane, I hope you'll join me on another one by clicking and watching this one here. Until next time, thanks for sharing the memories, everybody.